What is up, guys? Logan here again. Thank you guys for all the support. The Discord has been going crazy. We are up to 250 members, if not more. It's completely free to join. Check the link in the description right now to hop in. I mean, you guys have just been making amazing plays. I think 15 new people joined just today, like between yesterday and today. It's just blowing my mind, so I appreciate it. This is like the best YouTube community out there. I think you guys know that. I'm excited for today's video. We're gonna talk about what happens to option calls when stock splits happen. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. It would mean a ton if you guys supported me there. Don't feel obligated to. I understand everyone's in different financial positions, but it means a lot that you guys would even consider it. We have the Robinhood link if you sign up. We got the Webull link down there. We also have the Logan Ladge 20% off of my CBD website link. So if you've ever wanted to try it, hit that link below too. And right before we hop in, I wore my yellow shirt today. I'm trying to pick myself up. Had a good, decent day trading, but have just been feeling a little weird today. So, you know, I listened to Juice WRLD, Mac Miller, you guys know what's up. Just feeling a little low. Like, if you guys could hit the like button below, let's raise these vibes today. Let's get into this one. Super excited you guys are here. So, you know, some days are just not the best, but we always get through them, just like trading, you know. Some days aren't the best, but if you can get through it, tomorrow is gonna be a lot better, and it always seems to work like that. It's weird because everyone says that, but it's weird because that's how it works. Enough about that though, let's just hop right into this one. So I didn't make a play, but as you guys have heard this week, and look at Apple today, I mean, they're up to $427 a share. They're up $40 today and then $2 after hours. I mean, that's a combined 11% in one day. Look at these options right now. I mean, if you would have had one that expired August 7th, 700% return, 800, 900, 600, 900, all these crazy returns. Even for like an August 21, 700%, 1000% on some of these calls that are super far out of the money, and then 400 on the ones down here. Even for a week out later, I mean, that's 4 to 5xing your money, whether you put 1,000 in or 100 or 600 or whatever you did. Like, if you played that and you played it smart, you could have done really well today. So shout out to all you guys. But the thing about Apple that we're gonna talk about, here's my position too, up 127%, really happy with it. What we're gonna talk about with Apple though is the stock split that's happening. So if we look down, I don't know if anybody's written an article about it, I don't see one. Their earnings, they did really well, so that's why the stock jumped so well. But what we're gonna talk about is Apple basically has now done a stock split. So one of the reasons that Apple did the stock split was because now that their stock's over $400, they wanna take each share and make it worth 4 shares and reduce the price by 4 times. So if Apple is exactly $400, and we divide that by 4, it would be $100 a share. And the reason they do this is so that people who want to invest small or think like, yo, $427 or $400 a share is way too much for me to pay, they can now just buy a share for $100, even though the market cap stays the same, you know, like the size of the company. You'll see investors pretty soon, once they unroll this at the end of August, which is their plan. I don't know the exact date. I think it's August 27th or 28th, right around there. They'll do the stock split. So I have 4 shares, which will then be worth 16 shares. And then all of like the average cost stuff will get adjusted. Your total return will still be the same. Market value will still be the same because you own the same amount of shares as far as like equities. But now instead of 4 shares, I'm gonna have 16. So it's equivalent to the same amount of cash. And if you guys wanna learn how options pricings change with stock splits, you're in the right place too. So you guys already know, we're on Investopedia. I always talk about Investopedia. So Alan Farley wrote this article about what happens to an option when a stock splits. So publicly traded companies may decide to split its stock for various reasons. If a company's stock price has gone up, the price may be too high for investors to purchase shares. A stock split lowers the price of shares, making them more attractive, and that's what Apple's doing right now. A stock split means that the existing shareholders receive additional shares, but the value of the shares will not increase due to the stock split. When a stock split is announced, an options contract undergoes an adjustment called being made whole. Stock split means that existing shareholders, blah, blah, blah. All right, so what is a stock split? Being made whole means the options contract is modified so that the holder is neither negatively nor positively affected by the corporate action. While a stock split adjusts the price of an option's underlying security, the contract is adjusted, that's important, so that any changes in the price due to the split do not affect the value of the option. If your option is purchased post-split, after the split's announced, it will not be adjusted because it already reflects the post-split price of the underlying security. The Options Clearing Corporation will automatically make these adjustments for the sake of orderly and smooth functioning markets, so that you don't have crazy premiums or no implied volatility crush. You don't have to worry about all that. Now here's a great example. If a company with 20 million shares announces a 2-for-1 stock split, shareholders receive 1 additional share of stock for each share they already own. The company's total number of shares outstanding is now 40 million. Because of the split, the value of each share is halved. A share that was worth 16 before the split will now be worth 8. The being made whole calculation is relatively straightforward for options. Each option contract typically controls 100 shares of an underlying security as the strike price, which you guys already know. One contract's 100 shares. The new share ownership is generated by taking the split ratio and multiplying it by 100, while the new strike price is generated by taking the old strike price and dividing it by the split ratio. Economics, boys. For example, if you buy a call option that controls 100 shares of XYZ with a strike price of 75, if XYZ announces a 2-to-1 stock split, the contract would now control 200 shares instead of 100, stock price of $37.50. On the other hand, if the stock split is 3-for-2, the option would control 150 shares with a strike price of 50. So if you had Apple and you had one contract, they split into 4, instead of having 100 shares for one contract, your one contract will award you 400 shares. A reverse split also reverses the adjustment process. For example, if you buy a call option that controls 100 shares of XYZ with a strike price of $5, XYZ announces a 1-to-5 stock split, the contract will now control 20 shares with a strike price of 25, and this is what USO did when their price went from like $2 a share to 20, and they did that 1-to-10 stock split. I think you guys remember that happening right a couple months ago. I think it was in May. So that's something that can happen too, a reverse split. Stock splits and market capitalization. While a stock split increases the total number of shares outstanding, it will not increase the market cap, which I've talked about, total market value of the shares. A company with 20 million shares outstanding at $20 per share has a market cap of 400 million. A 2-for-1 stock split means that both the stock and the price are halved and the total market value of the company's stock remains the same. See, and I really hope that helps you guys understand, because let's say you're trading Apple stock right now and you had one of those 500 to 600% return contracts, which I would have loved to hop into. I definitely should have. You guys know that I trade Apple almost every week, and this was the first week that I didn't. So it's really interesting to think about it like that. Like, I missed out on the home run hitting week. Played SPY really good this week. I think with the group we made a quick 70 bucks this week trading SPY, and on Monday we made like a quick 30 or 40. We traded Docu and made like 30 to 40. So I played it really small and slow this week because I was kind of nervous with the stimulus talks, and since they didn't have a plan for unemployment and business bailouts, wasn't sure if anything was going to happen, and it was the big earnings week. I was really concerned, and we saw stocks like Boeing take a $2.4 billion loss. That's what I thought was going to happen to all of these companies. But I didn't want to play puts on them because that just feels wrong. I don't know if anybody else feels goofy when they play like long-term puts or hold puts overnight. I feel like puts are more of like a day trade thing for me, just in my opinion. But you know, you could have a put overnight, especially if you're playing earnings. But I remember there was a lot of people on the Tesla call because the IV got crushed. And a lot of people who called Tesla, their stock was almost worthless at the end of the next day. It was hard for me to kind of figure out what was going on today with SPY. I mean, it really got crushed and then picked way back up towards the end of the day to where it's now sitting almost a whole % up after being almost a whole % down around 1 p.m. I've never seen SPY move like this in one day. I thought it was crazy too because we had moved, if we see in the past week, a whole % up in one day. And then even the day before, another whole %, but then we had that giant drop after hours. So I've just been really curious on what's going on with the market, but I'm glad I could teach you guys about the stock splits with the options today, because everyone in the Discord's been asking and I wanted to make a video on it. because it's just super important to know what's going on if you own even long-term calls, or leaps as they're called, if we're messing with Apple, you know, if you're playing with that. Same thing happened with Facebook today too. Facebook opened up at 250 this morning, yep, 250.98, and then closed at 253. I'll hop down to August 7th, so that was the quickest to expire. It is up 150%, and then a lot of the ones down here are still in that same range, 120. So it wasn't as good as Apple, but Facebook's just such a cool stock to trade and mess with. So, and you know, today it was harder for me to trade because I was trying to keep my emotions in check. And every time I'd watch SPY and think about entering and would watch it, I would always second guess myself, and then I would wait 30 more minutes and I was confused. I was like, is it still going down? And then it would have a big run up, and then I would sit there like, okay, wait, I don't want to jump in now because then that's FOMO, and then it would crash again, and I was like, what is happening? I feel like you could have made money 10 times on SPY today if you had unlimited day trades. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys have any more questions, hit me up on Instagram as always. Please like and subscribe on this. I'm so happy with how the YouTube channel's been. Thank you guys for the 700 subscribers. Insanity, man. We're probably gonna be to 1,000 by the end of August, if not the end of September. I feel like we really will be there. The Discord's going crazy. I think we'll have 1,000 members in by the end of the year. So I'm really happy that you guys are along for the ride. It means a ton to me. Don't forget to go check out my song. I have a couple more dropping in August, so I will keep you guys updated on that. But this is seriously the coolest thing ever. It's so cool. I'm glad you guys are learning stuff. But that's gonna be it for me today. I appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys in the next video.